So I beg to move an amendment to the proposed Meghalaya State Investment Promotion and Facilitation Amendment Bill 2025. An amendment to clause 4.31, which reads as follows. The nodal agency will be responsible for promoting the investment ecosystem in the state and taking up all activities relating to setting up industrial or service sector undertakings and the promotion of economic development in the state. This includes conducting investment facilitations, events, roadshow across the country, and internationally, creation of land banks through direct purchase of land or other means, and setting up of offices. This clause may perhaps be deleted, in which it contradicts the Meghalaya Land Transfer Act 1971 to direct purchase of land in the state, which falls under the 6th schedule.
Yes, you may initiate the discussion, please.
Okay, so at the outset, I would like to thank the Chief Minister for bringing the government's amendment, whereby deleting a certain section of this clause. So, before I proceed with my submission, sir, I would sincerely congratulate our Chief Minister for his newborn baby boy. So, and I would also like to appreciate the step taken by the government. I would like to express my happiness right from my heart when the government is taking this decision to delete. But let us make some submissions, sir. Why we stand to oppose the idea of land bank, creation of land banks, sir. The Chief Minister has explained that it will not contradict the provisions of the Land Transfer Act, the Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Act. But sir, we feel that we need to read between the lines. When we look at the original act, Meghalaya Transfer of Land Regulation Act, here we will find the definitions. What does it mean by transfer? Transfer means the conveyance of land of one person to another and includes gift, sale, exchange, mortgage, lease, surrender, or any mode of transfer. And when we come to the definition of a tribal, it means a person belonging to any of the scheduled tribes. That means a tribal is being defined as a person. So here is the issue where the government is trying to create land bank. So may I get the clarification from the government? And the question here is that in whose custody these land banks will be kept or maintained? Because if it is a revenue land, then the problem may arise that the government may transfer. The government is not going to transfer this land to an individual, maybe to a company. But the company or a firm, for that matter, doesn't come under the purview of the definition of the tribal or the person. So therefore, sir, we feel that there is a gray area in the definition of a tribal as a person. When we find that in section 3.1, no transfer in Meghalaya shall be transferred by a tribal to a non-tribal or by a non-tribal to another non-tribal except with the previous sanction of the competent authority. So here the person will not arise. It is the firm. It is between the firm and the government. So how do we say that it will not contradict the Meghalaya transfer of land? So therefore, sir, this is one very serious issue. And looking by the past record, this original act of Meghalaya Transfer of Land Regulation Act 1971 has been diluted with the insertion of subclause E and F in the section 4.1. That is the first dilution of the act, which has taken place in 19 1891. So as we know, I've been saying this and I will say it now again, that land for a tribal does not confine only to providing him a livelihood, but also has a deep cultural and historical connections. It is a bedrock of his sense of security and freedom from fear. So, it is an important part in the lives of the tribal people in the hills, and for them, it is a matter of life and death. Which is why, sir, on the day when the government introduced this amendment, on that very day itself, I had submitted an amendment to this amendment because I understand that we may fall into the trap. Because when we look at the past records, look at the industrial estates at Bernihat, industrial estate at Umyam, and many areas in Giant Hills district. What are the benefits that our people are getting derived from these industries? West Castles also. What is the result? The result is Bernihat is becoming one of the most polluted. And there are other areas, sir, in Giant Hills, like Lumshnong, will be another Bernihat in the making. I know that the government must have received petitions from the people of Sutunga Ilaka, where numerous of coke plants have been established in that area. I was told that sooner or later, the people will be forced to relocate as it will become inhabitable to the people. So all these past experience, sir, worries us as member of this August House. We are not against investment. We are not against the intention of the government to further the growth of the state. But we want to ensure that no matter what, the land should stay with us. So how do you ensure that these land banks that the government have been acquired will stay with the local people, with the local engineers of the state? Sir, as I speak, let me bring to the notice of this August House that the MIDC, Meghalaya Industrial Development Corporation Limited, on the 7th of March 25, has given a notice of inviting for expression of interest. Let me read out this advertisement, sir. MIDC invites expression of interest for acquisition of land in Ribhoi district, particularly in Umsiang and Makado areas, measuring 300 acres and above, for setting up industrial estate/area. Interested landowners having land at the above mentioned locations may submit copies of land documents extra and also to indicate selling rate on or before the 21st March 2025 up to 2 p.m. to the Office of the Managing Director, MIDC Limited, Kesma Upland Road, Light Nongkrem. Acquisition of land is taking place. So how is it possible? Where is the need for the MIDC to acquire this much of land? What is the purpose? So therefore, sir, how can you expect that as a responsible member of this August House? We subscribe to the idea of our Chief Minister to develop, to promote the state, to create jobs, but we also need to tread very carefully when it comes to land. We will not only oppose everything that the government is doing, but here is a problem. Because I know why. Most of the members in the Treasury bench, they are praising you because they understand that they will not be able to resist the heat of the people. At least I respect them because they understand the sentiment of the people. So we are all here to work for the betterment of the state. And how can you say that you have inserted new clause like where it was not there before in Section 2. Autonomous district councils have been added. But when you look at the original act in Section 39, that is a kind of a caveat that the government is included in that act, sir. So what does it say? Protection of action taken in good faith. No suit or legal proceeding shall lie against the chairman or any members of the governing council or high-powered committee or state investment committee or district investment committee or nodal agency or any employees of such committees in respect of anything which is done or intended to be done in good faith. So how can we presume that whatever they do is in good faith? It is not that simple, sir, for us to presume that whatever this nodal agency is doing is in good faith. So therefore, sir, I feel that in order to keep this apprehension at rest, may I request the Honorable Chief Minister to stop all kind of land acquisition. And going by the right to fair compensation and transparency in Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Act 2013, sir. And if you look at the section 41, 42, here it has mentioned very clearly, if I may be allowed to read out all these sections, sir. 41.1, sir, as far as possible, no acquisition of land shall be made in the scheduled areas. Where such acquisition does take place, this is 41.2, where such acquisition does take place, it shall be done only as a demonstrable last resort. Number 3, sir, 41.3, in case of acquisition or alienation of any land in the scheduled areas, the prior consent of the concerned Gram Sabha or the Panchayats or the Autonomous District Council at the appropriate level in scheduled areas under the 5th schedule to the Constitution, as the case may be, shall be obtained in all cases of land acquisition in such areas, including acquisition in case of urgency before issuing a notification. So the question here is whether the MIDC has adhered to this provision. And in 41.9, it reads, sir, any alienation of tribal lands or land belonging to members of the scheduled caste in disregard to the laws and regulation for the time being enforced shall be treated as null and void. And in case of acquisition of such land, the rehabilitation and resettlement benefits shall be made available to the original tribal landowners or landowners belonging to the scheduled caste. 41.1, all benefits, including the reservation benefits available to the scheduled tribes and the scheduled castes in the affected areas shall continue in the resettlement area. Whenever the affected families belonging to the scheduled tribes or who are residing in the scheduled areas referred to in the 5th schedule or the tribal areas referred to in the 6th schedule to the Constitution are relocated outside those areas, then all the statutory safeguards, entitlement, and benefits being enjoyed by them under this act shall be extended to the area to which they are resettled, regardless of whether the resettlement area is a scheduled area referred to in the 5th schedule or tribal areas referred to in the said 6th schedule. So may I know from the Honorable Chief Minister whether the MIDC, before issuing this notification, has adhered strictly to the provision of this Land Acquisition Act, sir. So this is a very serious issue, sir. So I know, sir, that the government has already deleted this portion, but I strongly feel that the government should also bring some more amendment where the government can also delete this Section 39 in this Meghalaya State Investment Promotion Facilitation Act 2024. So I will not dwell much since we have already our purpose to serve this, to move this amendment has already been served. But my request to the Chief Minister is to ensure that all land acquisition should be stopped. With these few words, sir, I resume my seat.
Any members wish to participate? Dr. Mukul Sangma, Leader of Opposition, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to support the amendment moved by Honorable Member from Nongkrem, read and which is self-explanatory. Mr. Speaker, sir, at the very outset, I also would like to take this privilege to congratulate our Chief Minister for having been blessed with a newborn baby son. Congratulations. I have also been recently blessed as a grandfather. So these are all signs of blessings. God is only fulfilling His promise because He has promised us prosperity and that we will multiply. Mr. Speaker, sir, let me begin by saying what is from my heart. We give our today for tomorrow is not ours, but of our. Beloved children, and of the generation next. I would like to place on record my deep sense of appreciation for having taken note of the sentiments of the people by the government of the day. Because the amendment which has been moved to amend the proposed amendment by the Chief Minister is reflective of the collective intent of our friends in the Treasury bench. But at the same time, it is also reflective of the fact that this discussion to bring this amendment was probably not done prior to tabling this proposed amendment for consideration of this August House. That's why this subsequent amendment to the proposed amendment. The amendment is to amend the tabled amendment bill. Now, when we come to the bill is to amend already an enacted act. Because the item number 12, which has been moved by the Honorable CM, is to move the Meghalaya State Investment Promotion and Facilitation Amendment Bill 2025. So Act is already there. This is further to amend the existing Act. Now, I submit before this August House that we must always look at the possibility of the fallout, which may be a fallout in immediate nature or in the years to come. Because in the proposed amendment, which the further proposed amendment has very clearly indicated, which includes in the original proposed amendment, is that the creation of land banks through direct purchase of land or other means. Now, it's not just indicative of one intent of creating land bank through direct purchase, but also through other means. How will you define these other means? Therefore, it definitely invokes a process of thinking. And this whole process of thinking has enabled us to have this wisdom of reconsidering this particular move of the government. I appreciate our vigilant, alert, and committed members of the civil society. We have been blessed by a vigilant, alert, and committed civil society organization over the years. Even before we achieve our statehood. It is only because of this vigilant civil society that our leaders, our forefathers, understood the need to fight for statehood. And therefore, this must continue. We must appreciate. I, as one of the responsible members of this August House, was required to also share my concern, which the Honorable Chief Minister has referred to in his submission. Yes, we expected the government to respond. We expected the government to engage and ensure that all the steps that we take do not result in such a situation where we will be perceived as insensitive but eager to bulldoze. Good sense have prevailed, and I must thank all our friends who, as submitted by the CM himself, has made effort to engage with CM, articulate the concern of the people on behalf of the people, and therefore the collective decisions and result is what we are seeing today. Now these apprehensions, this sense of doubt pertaining to the intent is not born out of nothing. Our mover of this amendment has already referred to the relevant laws which are designed with the inherent mandate in the laws itself to protect the interests of our people, particularly the tribal. But if we go by all the other past acquisition of land that has taken place, immediate acquisition of land in the preceding years, we see that by virtue of the reply to start question number 99, where in respect of this question, the reply to start question number 99B was no, sir. We did not put supplementary further because we knew that this amendment motion as tabled will be discussed. Now here, why is this social impact assessment required? It is because of the binding requirement of the authorities who are mandated by the law in the process of acquisition to abide by the law. Now, therefore, all these land acquisition, if we go by the law, have become null and void. If we go by the interpretation of this act, the Right to Fair Compensation and Transparency in Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Act 2013. All the land acquisition that has taken place in the state in the preceding years, including this particular parcel of land, which was referred to in this question 99, has become null and void. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, it is important for the government to revisit the manner in which the whole process of acquisition has taken place. Now, the relevant act also supersedes other provisions of the law under the law which is being invoked in the process of land acquisition for highways. Now, this law is inconsistent with what is required to be done to protect the interests of our own people, our tribal people. Therefore, this must be used as a weapon by the government. I have suggested this in course of my supplementaries to the Deputy Chief Minister. He has assured me, but he has put again that other than these, the other central law which was enacted in 1967, National Highway Act, that is an old law. Subsequent to this law has been enacted, and this is an offshoot of the in-depth understanding of the diverse complexities that exist in our diverse country. And particularly in view of the need to protect our innocent, simple tribal people. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, it is only a matter of great concern for all of us. And therefore, we reflect our concern, and it is for the government to take cognizance of everybody's concern and respond. I thank the government for responding. The power of anticipation is very crucial for us. The power of anticipation of the fallout of any decision. I believe this whole power of anticipation actually provoked this discussion and this engagement by all concerned, all the 60 members of this August House. I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, place on record my deep appreciation and gratefulness to all the members of this August House. Even the members who have not spoken have the same feeling, because I have also had the privilege to know their mind. Therefore, collectively, we say yes to all that is good. We say yes to all that will create that kind of environment where we will not feel threatened when we leave this world, but we will be sure about the future of our people, that they shall still inherit the land, that they shall not be alienated from the ownership of the land, because it's very crucial for us. And we always say that God has been kind to our people, that's why we have land of our own, unlike many others, not only in this country, but in the world. I would like to conclude by reminding all of us the promise of God, which says, the Lord your God will bring you back to the land which your fathers possessed, and you shall possess it. That is what is called blessings. That is what revolves around the whole concept and blessings of God in terms of inheritance. The inheritance cannot take place without land. If our children have to come back from America, USA, Europe, and other different countries, because of things that will unfold in the future, then this land will be the land which will bring them back. And only if the land remains with our people, then only can they come back. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, these concerns are born out of that. And therefore, when we talk about investment, yes, we would like to have investment. But let us identify the areas, the sectors, which will enable us to have the same kind of growth story, but in a different way. How we do it is very important. We are witness to all this sudden mushrooming of those industries in West Hills. Is it the way to attract investment? These are shortcuts. These only reflect the short-sightedness of our generation. Therefore, we must know where we need to step back, and we must also know where we should dissuade, discourage, and ensure that there is a strong mechanism of deterrence. I would like to, therefore, while appreciating all the collective wisdom of the members of this August House and our people, the people who have woken up everybody, the members of the civil society organizations, I would like to further submit before the government through you, Mr. Speaker, sir, that in the years to come as well, when we look at anything to do with the land of our people, we must understand the responsibility vested upon us towards our children and the generation next. With these few words, I submit that while we appreciate the amendment tabled to amend the proposed amendment by the government, also to take cognizance of this concern of our members of this opposition bench, which has been appropriately reflected with utmost sense of responsibility and commitment by the mover of this amendment to the amendment of the government bill. So with these few words, Mr. Speaker, sir, I once again would like to appreciate all of us, the Chief Minister, the members of this August House, all the political parties, because I saw that almost everybody will have represented in respect of political parties. UDP, the earlier PDF, now NPP, and HSPDP. Oh, yeah, so it's a good message. At least people are bound to have at least certain amount of faith in us. Yes, this faith is very important because hope is connected with faith and belief. So they should believe us so that they can hope, they can have hope. And I'm sure wherever wisdom prevails and wherever we need to come collectively to correct or rather take course correction, we must. But I would like to urge upon the government to take cognizance of that particular important point that I have flagged before the August House. Please take advantage of this act, because from both the replies, in respect of reply to start question 99 and to my question, start question number 101, this mandate of this act, which should be utilized as the most powerful law to protect the interests of our people, have not been invoked. So I think while we collectively move ahead with the collective resolve to support the initiatives of the government for the larger interests of the people, but we also expect the government to be responsive to these concerns and take cognizance of this suggestion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you. Edelbert, please.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity to rise and to support the amendment to the amendment brought by Honorable Member from Nongkrem, Barden, Basaimo. In connecting with the amendment which had already brought by the government of the day, what more need me to say except to say a very few words, Amen. Because thing has come to reality. I will not dwell upon the Bill 2024, Act 2025, which is going to be an act. But in fact, I would like to inform the House that with enthusiasm I had prepared to participate in this issue in an aggressive way. But things had turned into positive. Congratulations. The government who had lead the state in a good example. As land is life. We cannot play with life as well. We cannot play with land. Honorable Speaker, sir, I'm there to say, as what I had mentioned, that I had prepared in an aggressive manner, in an aggressive mood in regards to this issue, but things turned into reality. I'm so thankful to God Almighty for enlightening the mind and for giving the good heart and goodwill from the government side to take this very vital issue in a good decision. Sir, as I always remind myself and all of us, that we cannot play with the life as well with the land, as land is life. And I'm never happy to expect that good thing will happen just because by the so-called name development. Because I always believe that if our right has been snatched away, what hope can we assure for the future generation? It's high time Meghalaya will industrialize. No doubt, it's high time to invite all our beloved youth whom they had moved away from this beloved state because searching for job, searching for survival, for their own survival. It's a good sign for our state. It is high time. We are no longer we can no longer expect only for government job. It's high time that we have to stand by our own feet so that we as a human being, especially our beloved youth, will turn out to be a useful instrument. So I will not lengthen my speech, but I would like, before I resume, to remind once again, sir, our land is our identity. If we lose control over our land, we are going to lose control over our future. Let us not be remembered as the generation that gave away a land to big corporation. Let us be remembered as the generation that safeguard our future. With this very few submission, sir, I would like to resume my seat and thank you once again.
Chief Minister, you wish to reply?
Sir, at the very outset, I would like to thank the mover of the amendment as well as the members who have participated in the amendment. I will not name everybody for the interest of time, but I thank the Honorable Mover, the Honorable MLA from Nongkrem, and all the other members who have participated in this very, very important amendment. So there is not much to clarify regarding the first issue and the first point which all the members have today more or less participated and given their sense of satisfaction. Sir, as mentioned in my amendment which I had moved, that a large number of stakeholders, including our MLAs, as well as different members from different organizations have met me. And going with our normal process of always doing deep consultation with everybody, we decided to move the amendment to remove the lines that indicated towards direct purchase of the land banks. And I presume that that issue has been to the satisfaction to almost all the members of the ruling, and also, from I could understand, to the satisfaction of all the members of the opposition also. So I will not dwell on that particular issue much. Regarding some of the concerns, sir, I'll just take a minute or so to just mention few points. Sir, some of the members, of course, had raised concerns regarding the original act and some of the sections like section 39. So let me just make it very, very clear to everybody and the honorable members mostly, is that, sir, this particular provision of 39 cannot supersede provisions that are there in other acts or that are there in the Constitution of India. What I mean by that, sir, is that if tomorrow there is somebody who is caught in terms of taking bribes to make any particular aspect move forward, so the laws as per the government of India, the central, the state government, the Lokayukta, all those acts and rules will apply. So there is no question of being able to give complete immunity just by putting one line and expecting that this will give complete immunity to anybody who chairs this governing council or any of the other members. So this is to be very, very clearly stated, sir, that this is not a complete blanket immunity. It is meant there to put a sense of confidence that individuals who are working in good faith will be given protection. That is all, sir. Now, who defines what is good faith? So the court decides. If there is a case of corruption, if there is another case, God forbid, of something even more heinous, like maybe a murder, this clause cannot protect that particular individual who has committed that particular crime. There are rules and laws and acts at the state and national level which will overrule any of these provisions that have been mentioned out here. The sense, as I said, was only to give a sense of confidence that there will be a sense of positive approach towards individuals who are functioning in good faith, and that is all that is there in this particular clause. And so this clause was again passed last year in 2024, so it's not a new clause that we're bringing in. It was already in the original act. And as I said, we have scope in the rules to further give the details of what the provisions are there and how this particular provision works. And as I said, sir, we are here to work for the people of our state to give them the confidence. If the situation does arise, that there is still concerns about this particular section. And by the way, sir, this section is something that is there in most of the investment promotion policies of most of the state governments. So it's not that we are the only ones who has brought this particular wording. In fact, if you look at the wordings that are there in a state like Karnataka, so in that state's investment promotion policy also, similar words have been used. And in almost all the other states also, similar language is used. And as I said, sir, the key line here is to note that it's in good faith, that only actions that are done in good faith, and that good faith, or is it bad faith, that will be decided by the court, not by the government or by the chief minister or by any of the ministers. So it's very clear, sir. But as I said, since there are concerns, I have mentioned in my opening remarks on my amendment that we are there to consult and discuss provisions. These are, of course, provisions that do not impact the larger functioning of this particular act, and therefore discussions can be done, and at appropriate time we can take this particular discussion forward also. As I said, this is not part of the amendment. This is part of the original act, which has already been passed by this House. So regarding the different aspects of the land acquisition that have been mentioned, sir, the purpose of today's discussion and the amendment that has been brought in, and the amendment to the amendment that has been brought, is to do specifically with the MIPA, which is the Meghalaya Investment Promotion Authority, and the concerns that land banks should be created by MIPA, sir. And therefore, I have mentioned very clearly, a lot of the MLAs, even from the ruling side, even yesterday, sir, just to share with all of you, of course, I thank the wishes for the good wishes that our opposition members and all the members have given. I was yesterday and whole night, therefore yesterday I was in the hospital. And even from the hospital yesterday, I had a cabinet meeting online, and these matters were discussed. So even till yesterday, we were in discussion mode about this issue. And even when I was there in the hospital, I was getting the inputs, and we had an online cabinet discussion on this matter. And based on that, we have gone ahead with the decision to remove that particular clause of the land bank, which was of great concern to the people. But reiterating, sir, that the intention was never to in any way bypass any of the land acts that are there available in the state and in the different agencies in the government, sir. So therefore, I want to make that very clear, that it's very clear that this was not going against any of those provisions, but since the larger concern still remained, therefore to give that sense of comfort to our people, that in no way are we going to go into that aspect of transferring of land or going into any issue of land bank, we went ahead with this decision. I also want to just make it double clear, sir, to the people of the state as well as the members who are present out here. So regarding the points mentioned by the mover regarding MIDC as well as other agencies that are going ahead with acquisition, sir, as rightly put by our honorable member from Umsning, that development work will move forward. For development work, requirements are there, and land happens to be one of the requirements. And at different stages in different years of state government, different acts have come into place that govern different laws and provide different provisions. So all at this point I can say, sir, is that MIPA will not engage in land acquisition. MIPA will not engage in land banks. That is the whole purpose of this amendment that we are bringing in from our side, sir, and I want to give the assurance. But other provisions that have been brought in by other laws is beyond the scope of this particular amendment act that we are bringing in. All the different acquisitions, whether it's for the roads or different kind of activities, sir, are being done as per existing provisions of the House and of the different agencies. And today, for me to say that all acquisitions will stop, that is something that cannot be, that commitment or that assurance cannot be given in the House. Processes will follow, sir, because there are these acts and different aspects which have been already passed by the House long before, sir. It's not to do with this act of MIPA. So we should not mix these two. And therefore, if there are concerns regarding the Land Transfer Act or regarding any other agency or MIDC functioning, so that is beyond, as I said, the amendments that we have brought in today. So therefore, I would like to stick to these amendments, sir. Other concerns, I'm not saying are not important. Other concerns also important. We as a government, we have been open. Almost all the opposition members have today appreciated the way we have handled the situation. We have been able to bring everybody on board, and we'll continue to engage, sir. Because let me again assure you, we are not here to do any harm to our people or our state or our society, sir. Our primary task, each member, sir, whether it's opposition or whether it's ruling, if we fail to protect the interests of our people, then we are failing in our primary duty and responsibility. And I'm with the members of this House in every sense. And it's not just the words we speak, but it is the actions also, as mentioned by our member from Umsning, that our actions have also proven that we are just not simply talking, but we are walking the talk, sir. So we will engage, sir. The scope of discussion beyond the amendment that is being brought by MIPA for the Meghalaya Investment Promotion and Facilitation Amendment Bill 2025. So those aspects, as I said, is beyond the discussion today for me to go and address the issues of acquisition as a whole and laws that have been brought in the past, to discuss those areas and say that we'll put a hold to everything, so will not be possible. So today we have to examine all of that. Those things can be discussed. I'm not saying it cannot be, but for now, for the sake of the issue that we are addressing and for the amendment that we have brought in, sir, I would like to stick to what we are discussing as of now. And with all the efforts that we have put in and all the discussions that we have had, sir, even yesterday, apart from the meetings that I've had, many other MLAs, I don't want to name, had long discussions and detailed discussions and engagement with many, many stakeholders. So a lot of consultation has gone through this decision making, and we have finally come to this point, sir. So therefore, sir, with these clarifications and with the assurance that we will continue to engage, and the Meghalaya Investment Promotion Facilitation, it may be a bill, it may be an act, but it is more about the overall ecosystem and environment. And that requires us to continuously engage and continuously bring out what is in the best interest of the people of the state first, sir, keeping in mind all the rules and laws and the traditional aspects and the ownership in mind, and obviously looking at the larger interest of ensuring that the state grows economically and we also get the different investments that are required for us to move forward, sir. So with these few clarifications, as I said, sir, there's not much to clarify. Honorable members have all appreciated and agreed that we have moved in the right direction. And therefore, with these few clarifications, I would urge the mover of the amendment to the resolution to please withdraw the amendment of the resolutions.
Now, may I know the mind of the mover as to whether he will withdraw his amendment?
Sir, once again, I would like to thank the Honorable Chief Minister, since the government has taken positive cognizance of the issue that we raised. So I beg to withdraw this amendment.
Now let me put the question before the House. The question is that the Honourable Mover Sri Arden M. Basamet, MLA, has leave of the House to withdraw his amendment. Those who are in favour say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against say no. The ayes have it, the ayes have it. And the amendment has been withdrawn with the leave of the House. Now let me put the question before the House. The question is that the bill be taken into consideration. Those who are for the motion say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against say no. The ayes have it, the ayes have it. And the motion for consideration is adopted.